Hey everyone, this is Rob,
Hey, Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast and everything you need to know about old school RuneScape. All right, so this week up on the docket, of course, as always, we are going to be starting off by telling you all the stuff we've been up to this week, and we've been up to quite a bit.
Yeah. My voice is breaking. So excited.
Yeah, so we've been up to quite a bit, and we'll be going over that, including TOA. Michelle has done quite a bit of that herself. And
It doesn't
then,
necessarily mean a lot of kills, though. Don't get your hopes up.
yeah. And then we will actually be going into TOA. So
Oh.
unsurprisingly, not a lot this week if you don't count the raid itself. As far as patch notes go, there's not a ton. But of course, we do have an entire raid to go over, so we're going to be talking extensively about that.
Yeah.
Even though I have not done the raid, I've watched many hours of people doing the raid, so I actually
Yeah.
know pretty much everything you need to know about the
Including
raid.
watching me while I was streaming, texting me like, "Oh, why are you doing this?"
Yeah.
Backseating me from work right now.
I know, but I mean, apparently you needed it because you don't watch people or
I don't. We'll get
anything like
into it.
that. Either way, though, we'll be ending off with a bit of a Q&A. We have some pretty interesting questions this week.
Yep.
So we'll finish off with a little bit of interesting stuff like that. But before we get into any of it, Michelle, how's it going?
Really, really well.
Well, not that well. Don't lead. When you say it like that, I feel like it leads on that you got a purple.
I
or
didn't get a
something.
purple. No, but it's been like the most fun week of gaming. I swear,
Yeah.
I swear it has been. Before even starting the raids, I was actually already thinking it went really well because I did some other stuff. I got my woodcutting up. I was 88 last week. I got up to 89. Then I got up to 90, and I'm almost 91. And I think if I keep playing mobile while we record, I think I'll hit 91 when we record.
Nice.
Yeah, unfortunately, the woodcutting grind's probably going to go a little slower next week now that this is out.
More than likely.
Yeah. I also got 98 defense, which is massive.
Nice.
Almost another 99. And then it'll just be attack and prayer that I have to get for combat.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And it's funny how you're like, oh, don't say really well. Like, nothing's happened this week. I think I'm going to start working on my prayer soon, too, because I was part of a bullet split.
Oh, did that happen this week?
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought so, too. I listened back last week on the podcast and was like, oh, we didn't even mention the bullet.
Oh, that's weird.
Someone commented about it. That's why I thought so. I think they saw it on Behemoth.
Huh, that's super weird.
It wasn't in my name, but we were in a trio, and Kat, shout out Kitty Toes on Twitch, got omelet and a T-bow. There were only 3 of us, so it was a 380 mil split.
Nice, yeah.
So cool. So cool. I've already spent a lot of that money. And it's funny, it was only their 61st kill. And I didn't see the T-bow at first, so I was like a little jealous. Not even a little, it was like
No, yeah.
very obviously jealous.
It's funny because like just a few days before that, we were talking about how the omelet always comes with a purple.
Yeah, that's why I knew, because I saw the omelet and I was in shock. And then you could see there's like a 1-minute clip of it because I didn't realize we got the T-bow at first.
Yeah.
You could see my confusion in my
she
face, and I was like
She
scrolling
actually
up.
didn't look at the purple at all.
All I saw was the omelet standing there, and I was upset because I'd never seen the omelet either, and I was like jealous.
Yeah. In the clip, like she scrolls right past it, and I thought I saw a T-bow,
But you're like, she didn't say anything, so
yeah,
no.
but like you scrolled past it and like just didn't care so much. I was like, oh, maybe I was like wrong.
It's great. Go to our twitch.tv/Bunebape. I think it's like our #1 watched clip now. It was on Behemoth and RuneScape Chronicles.
Yeah.
I don't know who put it on there, but it was funny. They both included different parts of the clip, which was nice. But yeah, because I remembered our conversation about how they always come with a purple. So you could see my face. I just looked like confused for a second, and then I'm like, huh. And then I look serious, and I'm scrolling up, and I'm like, whenever I realized I got it.
Yeah.
It was so cool. It's also on our Instagram too, Bunebape, and on Twitter, Bunebapeosrs. I shared the clip as well if anyone wants to see.
Yeah.
Best moment. Best. Now I really want to get my prayer up. I've been doing some ensouled heads for now just because I had a bunch. And then I think I might like get up like a level or 2 with Dragon Bones. We'll see.
Cool. You should just use superiors.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Just for a couple levels. Like I don't have to go all the way 99 with them.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because if I went I couldn't go all the way to 99 with them. I literally don't have enough gold. I went and looked at it.
Really? You don't
Yep.
have enough gold to
I'm
go
only
to
level 90.
It doesn't. I don't think it costs. I
It
thought it cost
does.
300 mil to get.
I don't have 300 mil. I already. Oh yeah, so I spent my money already.
Okay, well, I mean, technically you did have the money.
Yeah, I did have the money. I don't anymore.
Because I was like, I think it only takes 300 mil to get to 99 prayer.
Yeah, so I made a couple of upgrades, and one's like a very preemptive upgrade. I bought the Avernic Sigil for like 50 mil or something like that. I don't know.
The Avernic Sigil.
Not
Is that, a new,
Avernic
is that a
Sigil.
new item?
So I'm combining two things right now. I bought the Avernic Hilt.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go for my defender because everyone's been telling me to get. I was actually gonna save up, so if we'd gotten a purple split of 2 mil that night, I was gonna buy it, and we did get at least 2 mil, so it was nice. And then I also got the Arcane Sigil. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
The reason I bought that is because it's going to combine to make the Elidnus Ward with like the new best in slot Mage Shield. So I'm like, not to sound insane, but I'm hoping that we'll get lucky and get that drop, or in a few weeks it'll lower so much I could buy it.
I was like, you would absolutely sell it right away.
No, I would sell it, yeah, but I'd sell it and then in a few weeks, like, hope that I could afford it.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm okay with, because people complain about stuff, their bank value going down all the time. I don't mind because that means that my cash stack, I'm like, okay, my cash stack's staying the same. That means I could just go buy stuff if I want. So I'm like, everything lower. Except for stuff like the scythe is going up. The stuff that I want's going up.
Well, all the stuff that you'd want for the raid.
Exactly. Well, I want the scythe for chambers too.
Well, yeah, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah. But I also tried to do some top the other day. I did it literally as the update was about to happen. Like, we only had like 4 minutes left on Versic, and we realized that we couldn't get the kill anyway because me and one other person died, and there was like 2 teachers, and there was some miscommunication. Neither of them brought a poison weapon, so we weren't able to kill one of the spiders or something.
Oh.
I don't know. We weren't able to get the kill, but it was cool, like practicing those rooms a bit. I didn't die in most of them, which is nice. I think I kept dying in bloat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we weren't on voice chat, so that would have helped a lot, probably.
Yeah, it definitely would.
And most importantly, I did TOA, but I don't know if I should really talk about it until after we go over the update.
Yeah, we'll probably save it, I guess.
Yeah, we'll save it. But I will say, I stayed up the longest I've ever stayed in my life playing it.
It's not that long.
26 hours is a long time to me, okay? You guys hear me all the time saying I can never do a 24-hour because I can't stay up that long.
Yeah.
Turns out I can. I don't think I'm going to do a 24-hour because...
Yeah, I mean, what's sick is she didn't stream for most of it.
Yeah, so whenever TOA came out, RuneScape usually only has like 10,000 or less viewers on the entirety of Twitch. Like, that's how people are watching it all. Bodhi himself had 23,000 viewers. Yeah. No one was watching anyone else other than all the big names. So our view count like halved whenever the raid came out, and no one was talking. So I was like,
unfortunate, but it seemed like it happened to practically everyone. But yeah, between
all these streamers I watch that normally have like 100 or something, we're all at like 50. It's like everyone's view count was in half because everyone was just watching the big streamers.
Yeah, between Bodhi and Wooks, they had 40,000 viewers total.
Yeah, 4 times the amount of a normal night in RuneScape.
Yeah,
it was nutty. So
I mean, I guess that's like kind of as to be expected and kind of not surprising at all.
Raid 3 was trending on Twitter on my normal account where I don't even have RuneScape stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god. Yeah, it's not like, oh, the view count's low, so I don't want to stream. It's that the view count was low and no one was speaking to me. Like, no messages for like half an hour, and I was too in the zone anyway, and I felt like I wasn't being my best being a streamer.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out the new raid. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to call it.
Michelle is not good at multitasking like that.
Yeah, I'm not. Like, because I had to be on voice chat for it. And everyone knows how I feel about voice chat. I just had my team muted on the stream, which probably made it weirder for everyone, just listening to me talk.
Yeah, definitely.
Answering questions. And they're like, what did they say? So I tried to, like, yesterday I was on voice chat a little bit too, like that. And I tried to, like, ask questions with the other person's sentence in my question, so people can know what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
I don't even know. Yeah, okay.
But, yeah, so I ended the stream at like 5 or something, and I was like, oh, probably gonna head to bed soon. Didn't go to sleep till 3 p.m. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was really, really weird. Yeah, that's it. We could go into the updates, but... Oh, and then I slept 4 hours. And then I started my stream an hour and a half late because I was like out of it, and then I streamed again. So I'm tired. It's Thursday. We're recording this late because my sleeping pattern has been whack.
Yeah, because Michelle is just...
all over the place.
Yeah. Just ruined.
Our apartment's just like such a mess right now. I was telling Robert that now I understand like people make fun of like gamers in their apartments and stuff. And I was like, wow, Yeah, I don't even want to load like our little dishwasher. I'm just like, I just need a game.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
This feels like Michelle's first gaming sesh.
It does feel like my first gaming session because I wasn't out for other raids. I
Yeah.
was out. I was here whenever Next came out,
Yeah.
but that wasn't like stay up 40 hours playing it
Yeah.
like
I was gonna
raids
say,
is.
you don't really like get the full effect, and because like you've never taken off time to like play video games like from work.
Oh, now I get it. If I were you, Robert, well, you don't raid.
Yeah.
If you raided, I'd be like, Robert, you should like call in sick.
No.
This is worth it.
Yeah, I definitely would if I like did anymore, but I have plenty of times for like World of Warcraft and stuff.
Yeah, now I get it. Because
Yeah.
you always talk about how whenever new games come out, you're like, yeah, I'm going to stay up like all this time to play. And I'm like, why?
Yeah, it would be
I will never question that again.
it would be like how it was for me when New World came out. Where like
Oh, yeah, you
the
went
first
hard on New World.
the first week I only slept like 4 hours a day.
That's
each
whenever you
day.
tried to do the 24-hour stream whenever New World came out. Because you kept
Yeah.
trying to not play New World. And I'm like, just play New World.
Well, that was no, I actually New World wasn't out when I was doing that.
What were you
That was the
playing?
New World beta.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, if New World was out, then I definitely probably would have been able to do it because there was like a ton of stuff to do. But
Mhm.
yeah, in the beta, like I had already essentially beaten it.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But yeah, I get it now. And I'm never, ever going to judge you again for it.
yeah, that's how it is.
I want to go play it right now. But I won't. I'll be strong. I'm just woodcutting on my phone.
All right.
How are you?
Oh, I am doing well. I have not done any raids like we just went over, but I have been making some progress on the account, which is pretty cool.
The complete cash rebuild.
Yeah, complete cash rebuild. I actually went from 0 GP, literally 0 GP.
He gave it all to
To,
his other account.
Yeah, to I started technically at like 40 mil GP, like or 40 mil value in my bank.
Well, that's just because rams have like pickaxes and things.
Yeah, like pickaxes, ferocious gloves, just stuff that I was too lazy to give up. But
It's stuff that like was had like modifications to it that you couldn't even easily sell if you wanted to.
yeah,
Either.
you're like imbued rings, whatever. But
But you didn't keep any like armor.
yeah, and also like I actually I don't play that much. Like most of this money that I'm about to tell you I got is from like rune crafting while I'm like at work essentially. But either way, it was probably like a couple hours a day here and there, and then I ended up making about 7 mil
Jeez.
in blood runes just by themselves.
Do you know how many blood runes you did?
Yeah, I had over 17,000 blood runes, and it was nice because yeah, they sold for a little more than what the expected value was, so that's kind of cool.
Nice.
But
Yeah, Sanguinesti staff's really good for TOA.
Yeah, they
so
are.
blood runes are probably selling like crazy right now.
yeah, they're actually up like 20 GP more than normal right now.
Nice.
But yeah, so I sold a bunch of those, and it sucks because what else is up, and something that you should bring that you don't bring to TOA is the blowpipe,
Mm-hmm.
because it's really good for certain bosses.
That's what people have said. I just I haven't figured out my inventory yet.
Yeah,
I'm just bringing like minimal switches right now.
yeah, and then what's it called? Yeah, so that's mainly what I've been doing is just doing bloods. There was a ton of different things I could have done to start the rebuild that didn't require any GP. So
Yeah, this is nice and AFK for work.
I just did this because I need rune crafting anyways,
Mm-hmm.
and so I want to get base 80s, and I actually did.
Oh, you completely base 80s now?
Well,
Well, your rune crafting is?
yeah, for rune crafting.
Were you 77 last time?
Yeah, I was
right?
77. I had just got bloods, and then I ended up, yeah, just rune crafting all the way to 80 bloods, or 80 from bloods.
I forgot.
Yeah,
He
so,
told me last night, he was like, oh, there's something that happened. I'm not sure if I want to tell you, if I want to surprise you. And I was like, sure, just tell me. And he lied and said he got the pet. And I
Yeah.
looked so upset for a second. I was like, I didn't even know what pet he was talking about. I was just jealous.
Yeah,
I was just looking at him.
No, I did not get the pet. It sucks because that's probably the worst part about like going to bloods is there's always people with the pet around, so you'll just stand on top of them and it
Oh
looks
my
like you
God.
have the pet.
I keep doing that while I'm wood cutting. And I'm just like, let me just right click this beaver real quick to make sure it's not mine.
Yeah, I would just like right click it.
And you're
but,
like, dang it.
yeah. But it sucks because I got 7 mil, which I think would usually be enough for what I want to do
Oh
next.
yeah, this is funny.
But
TOA ruined your life.
yeah, I bought a blowpipe and it usually only costs like 3 to 4 mil because it's just gone down so hard. But so many people are buying it; it's up to like over 5 mil now. It
Silver
actually,
scales are going up too, I heard.
yeah, it was like 5.5 mil or something. So I bought that and didn't. I bought everything I needed, but I actually need. I don't want to spoil what I'm gonna start farming next,
I don't even know if I know for sure.
but I didn't have any runes, so I bought everything and I forgot I needed runes.
So now you're back to the grind.
Yeah, so now I'm back at Bloods.
I was wondering why you were back at Bloods now. I was like,
Yeah.
I thought you're done with this.
I was like thinking like, oh, I could start another grind, but I was like, no, I want to do.
Bloods is good money.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like 1 mil an hour technically.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't think I want to like do a different moneymaker because I really just wanted to start the next moneymaker. But
secret moneymaker.
Yeah, so I don't really want to like start an entire new thing before like going into what I was planning on.
Because then you probably get distracted and just keep doing that.
That and also like I don't know, like the next thing, like there's not a ton of good like free options for making like a good amount of GP, so it'd have to be something like fairly time consuming, maybe like
it would have to be like Guardians of the Rift.
I mean, yeah, Guardians of the Rift or like probably Gauntlet because you actually make decent money
Gauntlet's better money. Volcano's a good one too, though. You could get like $1 million there.
Yeah.
And you could get the pet.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, so I just went back to Bloods and now I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's convenient.
Bloods in my inventory right now. So I'm probably gonna do this for a little while, not for a ton of time.
Not as long as before.
No, probably until I have like 1 mil in Bloods so that I can sell that. And
so you're like halfway there.
Yeah. I just need to buy like 1 or 2 more things, and I should be ready to go and start bossing.
You're gonna keep that on the down low till now in case you change your mind or something.
Yeah,
okay.
I do want to focus on bossing though, just because. 1, I think it's more interesting, and 2, it's something I haven't done a ton of as far as like different bosses. I mean, I have bossed plenty in the past, but not at the one I'm going to.
It's weird how I've surpassed you on doing more bosses and stuff. Because before, remember, I used to be scared. I mean, Vorkath, I still. Like,
yeah, I was like, funny enough, I still think I have more KC than you, but it's just because
You went to Vorkath so
I can
much.
like camp bosses for longer.
Yeah, I'm not good at camping.
Yeah.
Except for raids.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so you definitely are catching up though with how many KC you've been getting at raids.
I'm like 330 something for chambers now.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of chambers.
Nice.
It's cool. It's cool to whenever people like show up and they're like, "Oh, I like ran with you whenever you first started." And I'm like, I don't even remember that. And that was like 2 months ago.
Who you are?
Literally one of the people I was trying TOA with. They were there when I got the Kodai, and I just couldn't remember because it was so long ago.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about it. It's funny because like I do want to do TOA, especially because it does look fun.
It looks so fun.
And also you could get like items worth several billion gold. So that's always a pretty good incentive. But yeah, I haven't done the quest, and also I don't have the gear, and it's actually pretty.
He doesn't want to do it in scuffed gear.
It's pretty well, not that, but it's pretty tough to do it in like bad gear. From what I've seen.
One of the people we were running with, I told him, was wearing Fighter's Torso with Obsidian legs, and they were like keeping up with the rest of us.
Yeah,
I don't remember what weapon they're
probably
using.
not. If you looked at like the leaderboards and stuff like that at the end.
I didn't know you could look at the leaderboards. And the last two I ran last night said that I was the leech, and I was like, oh my god, this is rude. I felt like I actually genuinely felt like I was doing a good job. I mean, I was. I didn't die those ones.
Yeah, I think you're good at not dying. Like I feel like you have a better.
I'm not as good as DPS as the people I was with.
I think mechanically you have a better understanding of the bosses potentially, because whenever I'm watching your stream, usually you're one of the last people to die. But yeah. So,
yeah, we'll go over that soon.
Yeah. Besides, like, I think you just don't optimize your damage probably.
I don't. I don't have as much DPS as other people for sure. I focus on staying alive rather than hitting it.
Yeah.
It's my what I'm used to from Ulm. Whenever I'm teaching people, I always tell people focus on your health, not the dragon.
Yeah. Which I don't think is necessarily bad, because whenever I was like, you know, high end rating in WoW, one of the main things was staying alive. Like
exactly.
It doesn't matter if your DPS is like in the dumpster, and like it was like, because like WoW is way more competitive. There's like a tracking system that tracks how much damage you deal and compares it to literally everyone else that's done the raid.
Wow.
and like puts you in a percentile. So a lot of people were like,
That can make you so insecure about yourself.
"Oh yeah," and like it's funny because like we would never like admit it, but sometimes if you're like trying to do as well as possible, and you see that you're just like you don't want to die because that also, I mean, that just ruins everything.
Yeah.
So like people would, if they see that their percentiles like in the garbage, they'll just die on purpose sometimes, or like try and like wipe the raid on purpose so that they have to restart.
Oh my gosh. See, that doesn't seem very good.
Yeah, it got super
too
It
competitive.
got super competitive sometimes. But, yeah, it's
Like, be
really
frustrating.
funny. But besides that, though, I haven't been doing anything else this week.
You're
Really,
doing a lot of bloods though.
yeah, a lot of bloods. Surprisingly, I was able to do all these bloods while playing a bunch of Path of Exile this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it came out this week. Unfortunately, it's actually the worst recorded expansion that they've ever had or League season expansion in Path of Exile they've ever had.
Yeah, it's having really bad reviews, right?
Yeah, like by far the worst, and also the worst player retention.
I mean, they probably tried really
lot.
hard. Now they'll know better for next time.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll definitely do that. Definitely not something that happens often.
Oh.
But either way, besides that, it's been fun, even though it was really a letdown, but it was also fun. But I think now that I'm essentially more or less done, or at least putting that off for
Maybe
now.
it's good that it wasn't as fun, so now you're over it faster.
Well, it definitely gives me more time to focus on
Your
RuneScape again. So it'll be nice because, like I said, I am going to be doing bossing, and I'll be doing that this weekend. So hopefully, I'll get a lot of KC this weekend.
Oh, I'm so excited to hear about it.
Yeah, so hopefully that'll be pretty cool. But with that over, we can actually probably get into the actual patch notes this week.
Yeah, and as always, Rinder, construction downstairs.
Yeah, there's construction literally 1 foot under us.
I swear to God, they're just hitting the wall with a hammer for nothing.
Yeah, and it's funny because yeah, whenever I'm walking by the downstairs unit, it just looks like a complete catastrophe. Like there's just wood everywhere, different countertops and places.
Getting kind of bitter seeing all the boxes for like washing machines though. They're upgrading all the units.
Yeah,
We have already spoken about this. I feel like they're gonna upgrade them all and then kick us out to upgrade ours. There's no way they're gonna upgrade ours unless they stay here.
That'd be cool, but that
would be
definitely
cool,
won't-
but
that
yeah,
definitely
no.
won't happen.
It was funny. There was actually a lady I passed by, like an older woman in the parking lot. It was so weird. She was like looking into a window of one of the renovated ones, which now I get it. Now I kind of want to do that too.
Okay.
But it looked awkward. And she was like, "Oh, when do you think they're going to start on ours?" And I was like, "Who knows?" And I was like,
yeah, never,
"Girl,
lady. Don't you
they're
know how
gonna
this
kick
works?
us out." They also, I'm like, that's like around the time that they text us. We're like, "Hey guys, everyone's gonna be on a month-to-month lease now." And I'm like,
Well, we already were.
We already were, but they definitely just want to kick out everyone.
Yeah. Either way, that was pretty funny. But as far as the TOA patch notes, like I said, there wasn't a ton this week as far as the notes themselves go. But
which is fine. We have enough to talk about.
yeah, but we'll be going over
I'm so
them
excited
anyways.
to talk about it.
So, Tomb of Amascut, we're finally ready to dig into one of the biggest releases of the year and probably of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Prepare yourself for Tomb of Amascut, the most replayable and narrative-driven raid we've made to date. Don't forget to pack some headphones along with the rest of the Tomb raiding gear. Our fantastic audio team have created some proper bangers and some truly spine-chilling sound effects. So for the full Tomb of Amascut experience, you'll want to give them a good listen, rather.
I haven't listened to the music track yet, but I've listened to the sound effects, and the sound effects are dope.
Yeah,
I definitely need to listen to the music later today.
I haven't. It's funny because like whenever I am watching, it's usually nearly muted, so I actually haven't heard any of them. But
they're really good.
I've seen a lot of people in chat remarking about how good it is.
And I'll wait. I have so much to talk about. I love it so much.
Yeah, big thanks for all the mods that worked on that.
You guys did a splendid job.
Yes. One last note before you dive in. Of course, anyone wondering, I don't know how you would not know this still, you do have to complete Beneath Cursed Sands. It is a master tier quest, I believe, and you have to do that before you're even allowed to step foot into TOA.
Multiple people are coming to the chat hours before release, like, yeah, I'm finally gonna work on this quest. I'm like, dang, how did you guys put this off for so long?
Yeah, I haven't done it either, but
you're not a raider.
I mostly just can't be bothered right now.
Yeah.
And
it's a pretty cool quest, actually.
I don't really care for the questcape either. So long ago, The people of the Caridian Desert lived prosperous, luxurious lives under the watchful eyes of their beloved gods. All that changed when Amascut, the goddess of rebirth, became corrupted. She was reborn as the Devourer, intent on consuming every living soul in existence. Deep within the desert, an ancient tomb has long hidden a great power, and the Devourer is determined to harness it at any cost. If she succeeds, all hope is lost. You must traverse the tomb's many obstacles and foil her evil plans before it's too late. So that's the general
So
premise.
good. So good.
And there are requirements for the what's it called?
Raid?
Yeah, for the quest before the raid, for the
Oh.
pre-quest. But we've already been over this a few times. I guess technically spoiler alert, but it's 62 agility, 55 crafting, and 55 fire making. So pretty low
Not
requirements
too bad.
again. Yeah.
You can get it pretty quick at like Winterton and stuff.
I'm surprised there's no combat requirements or suggestions because
There probably is
a fairly
suggestions.
difficult boss in that quest.
There is, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, though, there is worlds designated for Tomb of Amascut. It's going to be 329, 331, 531, and 333 for US East, West, Australia, and UK, respectively. There's plenty of worlds for them. So yeah, if you are looking for a group for tombs, or yeah, if you're just not comfortable soloing it, then you can go to any of those worlds. And there's plenty of people that are always looking for groups. I'm sure there's CCs for it as well now.
Oh, I'm sure. There's also some designated free-to-play worlds, or not. Sorry, free-to-play.
I was like, what?
Free for all worlds.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, there are. They the two free for all worlds are 338 for US and 336 for Germany. I don't know why you would need a designated world for free for alls.
Some people might be splitting because it's so early on. You know,
I think
you
most
can only have up to
people-
8 people, so it's not like you could do mass.
Yeah, but I mean, I think most people will split anyways. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Either way, I guess technically, if you want to join a specifically free for all world, then those are your options.
Mhm.
Also, for the location, it is going to be to the very, very far south of the Caridian Desert. If you have completed Beneath Cursed Sands, then you should be familiar with the Necropolis, all the way to the south. When you're ready to raid, just go there and make a beeline for the giant pyramid. You can't miss it. It is
Yeah.
very large.
Would recommend taking the fairy ring right next to it and hopping over some stones to get over.
Yeah, if you have the agility.
Yeah, if you have the agility, it's like 60 something.
If you don't fancy trekking through the desert, there are a few travel options, which should make your journey to the raids less arduous. After completing Beneath Cursed Sands, you can bring a Pharaoh's Scepter to the obelisk west of the pyramid and commune with it to unlock the teleport. Then simply
Just
head there.
kidding, I'm
for
gonna
the
do
raid.
that.
Yeah, I was like, everyone should.
I
Probably
didn't
just do
read this.
that.
I was just telling you guys what I did.
Use the fairy ring code AKP and then hop over some small islands.
Like
it's
a
going to be
seed.
62 agility. Take a magical carpet ride to Sophanum and head south to the Necropolis. That is going to be the longest way. And make sure, yeah, there's a bank there, so you don't really need to bring too much.
But bring some water things.
Yeah,
So you don't
if you
die of-
really need to.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, I got 91 wood cutting, by the way. Hey.
Easy.
We had to pause it for a little bit because the construction got that loud. I
yeah.
was sad I got it when it was paused.
Upon entering the Eponius tomb for the first time, you'll be met with the cutscene where Misa will explain how you can help put a stop to Amascut's plan. Once inside, you'll see a few noticeable features. A grouping obelisk. This is where you'll be able to make your group, change your invocations, and sign up for any groups that are available. The bank camel, which is probably one of the coolest parts
Super
of
cute.
this whole update, is there's a little camel you can click on, and also if you have no like reclaimable items or something in the bag in front of him, he just like looks at you. He just like stares at you.
Oh, he spit at me.
Yeah, he spits at, yeah, he spits
I
at
didn't know
you.
what that was. I just clicked the bag and he spit
Yeah,
at me,
if
and I
you-
was like,
If you
"Hey."
click the bag, yeah, he like spits.
There's
at you.
not animation; it just tells you.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the animation of a camel spitting
be
at
great.
you?
As far as the scoreboard goes, it keeps track of your personal best time as well as just okay attempts across different group sizes and different difficulty levels.
It also keeps track of your deaths.
It does. So it's kind of like how I guess they have this for like theater and stuff like that too.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm not sure if they have this for theater and stuff.
They
like
have
that.
like a similar.
But it reminded me a
something
lot.
little different.
It reminded me a lot of the
Temperance has it.
the board for Temperos or for like Rune Dragons or something like that. Like it keeps
Mhm.
track of like everything you'll need.
Yeah, and it tells you everyone's like ever. Like I was online whenever
Everyone in the world.
Yeah, everyone in the world. I was online whenever someone finally got the first normal. It was really cool to be able to see like it changed to 1.
I guess no one really kept track for entry mode because entry mode's fairly easy. But as far as normals go, the first one that was ever done was a solo,
Yeah,
and
so cool.
that's also true for expert as well. Expert has been done up to this point 3 times. As
Oh, there's a
far,
third? It was 2 when I went to sleep.
yeah, it was 3. The third was Wooks actually.
Oh, wow.
And actually no, there's more than 3 because I know Bodhi has done it as well.
Expert solo?
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah, a few people, probably a handful of people have done expert at this point. All of them have been solo because, spoiler alert, in my opinion, this raid is much easier solo.
Haven't tried solo yet.
But yeah, so that's a little interesting fact. There's also a claim chest. If you die, you will have to claim your gear. As far as I know, it is a maximum of 500,000 GP. It is based on how much your gear costs at the GE.
Oh,
So,
that's why someone only had to pay 100 something. We were kind of confused by that.
yeah, so if you have, not the best gear, if you're not bringing in Torva and stuff like that, you'll probably have to pay less. But if you are bringing in max gear or something like that, it will be 500,000 capped. And yeah, that's just if you die out or something like that on any of
You
the
wiped
bosses.
too many times.
Yeah.
There's some invocations that you like. Some of them are unlimited. Some of them you can only die 5, 3, or 1 time.
Yeah, I think one of the fairly popular ones is the hardcore version, which is you just die once, and that's all you get.
Best we've just done is 3.
Yeah. As there's also a false door, much like the equivalent at the Theater of Blood. You can use this handy shortcut to reclaim any loot you left in the tomb.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you get logged out before you're able to grab your loot.
Yeah, I guess so.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's all the things that you'll be able to find inside of the tomb. Creating or joining a party, like I said, you can use the grouping obelisk for this. It'll not only tell you the name of the person, but it'll also tell you how many people's in their group, if they've done raids before, if so, or it'll also tell you what difficulty they are on currently, as well as what invocations, how many invocations, and just
yeah,
the
you're able to go
overall
and read the
difficulty.
invocations too once you're in the group.
Yeah. So you can do all that. The invocation system, of course, is the new system. It's going to be impossible to explain it all right
We're
here.
not going over all of it. There's absolutely no way. I don't even know all
But
of
there
them.
is, yeah, there's a few dozen invocations that you can go through. As far as like Michelle mentioned, you can make it so that you have limited numbers of deaths, or
You only have a certain amount of time to do it. It
yeah,
adds special attacks to different bosses.
yeah, maybe the bosses will have a 3x3 attack range instead of a 1x1.
Like one is like Zebek the crocodile. You can make it so it has like a blood healing thing that it will do.
Yeah, it has blood magic.
And then you can make it so the blood magic splits into 3 orbs.
Yeah,
It's just like a lot of
sometimes-
different special attacks to make it harder.
Yeah, you can do different types of modifiers for literally every boss in the
It's
raid.
really
There's
cool.
multiple per boss, so there's different ways to mix it up. And overall, it seems like a pretty interesting system. It's nice because you can pick and choose, because you do need a certain number of them in order to change your raid from entry mode into normal mode and then finally expert. So you get to pick and choose which ones that you think you'll work best with.
Yeah, what we were doing, I mean, I think we got our first count. Our first kill was 0 probably. But whenever we started doing it more, we were changing it to be 50 invocations, because that means that you're able to get, it's more likely for you to
50
get
points worth of invocations.
Yeah, sorry. 50 points worth of invocations, because that's whenever you can start getting the jewels and stuff.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no, you can get the jewels. That's
You can
whenever
get
you
the
can get
jewels,
the
yeah.
Fang and the ring.
Yeah, the Fang and the Ring are available.
Yeah.
Well, all
You
of
can
the
technically get all of them
the
at any
items,
time.
yeah, all of the items technically are always available.
Just like
but
super rare.
It's an astronomically low percentage.
Which is funny because the first person to get pet was on entry mode.
Yeah,
Entry is supposed to be normal, or pet's supposed to be normal drops only.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really weird. But yeah, someone got a 1KC pet on entry mode yesterday. First person in the
pets look
game.
so cool. Everyone should go look at it.
Yeah, it just looks like should we spoil it? I don't know.
Well, it just looks like the final boss. We'll just say that.
Yeah, it does look like the final boss. There we go.
The final boss's animations are so dope.
Yeah, I like them a lot. So as far as the raid goes, whenever you do enter, there is going to be 4 different boss arenas that you can go into.
Mhm.
So of course that's going to be Zabak the crocodile, Baba the baboon, Akka the warrior, and Kefri the
Scarab.
scarab. Yeah. So there's going to be 4 different ones, and there is going to be one puzzle before every single boss, and all the puzzles are the same, and all the bosses are the same.
One puzzle very loosely. Before Kefri, there is like 4 puzzles on 2 sides of a room that you have to solve.
It's 3, but yes.
It's 3. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tired still.
What's nice is if you are solo, then you only have to do one on you only have to do 2 leading up to the final one instead of all 4 like normal.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's pretty easy.
I was wondering how long it would take on solo.
Yeah, for instance, the fastest solo I've seen was Wooks. He did it in like 24 minutes.
I need a more realistic number than that.
Yeah. For instance, there's also challenges that you can pick up as invocations that are for like 27 minutes for solo, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's just a general timeline. That being said, a lot of people do take around 50 minutes for their first few kills.
Yes.
As far as the rest of it goes, I don't think there is any invocations for the puzzles themselves leading up to the bosses. It's mainly just for the bosses.
Yeah, not that I can remember at least.
But you can complete all the doors in whichever order you prefer. Either saving the best for last or the hardest for last. It's up to you.
But do keep in mind that after you kill 2 of the bosses, and then after you kill the last 2, you're able to get a free package from this ghost that's basically like brews and bonuses and stuff.
Yeah, so whenever you kill 2 bosses, you get a supply cache. You get a decent amount after 2, and then you get a lot of supplies after all 4.
Mm-hmm.
And the supplies, you can choose which they are. They can either be focused on healing, focused on damage, or somewhere in between.
Mm-hmm.
They do
offer life, chaos, and power.
Yes, the power ones are very potent depending on which ones you get.
I've been getting power a lot.
It can include things like ambrosias and adrenalines, which make you just hit, I think, faster and harder.
Yeah, the ambrosia is my favorite because when you click it, it heals your health and your prayer up to, well, for me, 125.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same for everyone. So that's so good for the final boss fights. You don't have to worry about eating brews. You just click it once.
Yeah.
Well, you spam click it because it's slow to click.
So, yeah, as far as I know, it's the smelling salts as well make you deal more damage, not the ambrosias.
There's a lot of things, and I'm not used to what they're called either. So
yeah, they do have weird names, but they are essentially different versions of the good old Saradomans, Super Restores, and
other bonuses. Like
the combat ones aren't really like anything else.
They're similar. One of them similar to Overload, but doesn't heal you down.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Which is nice. It's like a good overload that doesn't damage you.
Yeah, exactly. So all of them are the damaging ones are fairly unique, but the other ones are pretty similar to your standard healing stuff.
Some don't last very long though. Just a heads up. Use them right before.
Yeah, exactly. As far as that goes, like you said, you get to choose and then go into whatever bosses. It's nice because whenever you do choose them, they come in a bundle that you can retrieve from, so they won't fill up your inventory unless you want them to.
And you can put them back into the bundle too if you decide, wait, I grabbed this on accident.
Yeah. So that is pretty cool.
So cool.
They do say to be aware that you cannot return to the main room once you have gone down a path. You have to finish the puzzle or finish the boss before you can go back to the main room. So make sure you don't accidentally go to the wrong room.
Yeah, then you have to just leave.
Yes. As far as rewards go, I think we've been over all of these in the past. Someone asked if any of these or if any of the rewards are surprises, and the mods were like, no, because they have to be pulled. So everyone knows what they're going to be. So, of course, we have the Masori armor. You can get the uncharged version or the unpowered version and the powerful version.
Which you charge with Armadillo pieces.
Yes, which you melt down Armadillo pieces and use.
We don't need to go over the bonuses all over again, though.
Yeah, the requirements are going to be 80 range and 30 defense. If they are powered, then it is 80 range and 80 defense.
It's the new best in slot range gear.
It is definitely the new best in slot. It looks really cool. So cool. It's gold with alligator green on the rest of the leather pieces.
Yeah. I want to save up to be able to buy it because I'm sure that'll go down like maybe 100 mil a piece.
Yeah,
so I can just get one split.
Those, as far as it goes right now, for an entire set is going to be, I think, right around 1.4 bill.
Yeah, which gives me hope in the next few weeks that it'll go down quite a bit.
Yeah, that's for the full set, and of course that's uncharged. And then for
I have to buy Armadillo again.
The next one is going to be the Shadow of Tomican. This is the new. I don't know if you would call it best in slot. This is the new charged staff. that you can get
It's
from the
so
raid.
pretty.
It is really cool. It looks like an eclipsed sun,
Yeah.
and
On top of the staff.
yeah, it looks really really cool. This is the one that makes it so you deal more damage the more magic damage you have.
Hmm.
So it just amplifies your damage by I think 3 times. So yeah, so when the shadow is equipped, magic strength from gear is tripled. So that's pretty cool. A lot of this is probably the most expensive item to come out of the raid so far. I've seen
Definitely.
a lot of people trade it for over 3 bill. Even still, I don't know if that is happening currently. I just kind of woke up not too long ago. It's
Hmm.
probably maybe down to 2.9 bill, but it's still pretty expensive.
Yeah. I've seen a grand total of one person walking around with it. And it's
Yeah.
really pretty.
Yeah, there's plenty of people walking around with the items and, buying and selling them just to see how good they are here and there.
Hmm.
The one item I do not know how much it goes for is the Elidinous
I
Ward.
haven't even seen anyone with it,
I haven't either. So
which makes me want it more.
yeah, it's fun. It is not. I know it is not more expensive than the Shadow of Tomican, so
Yeah, that's definitely the biggest one.
that's the most expensive
I
one.
think that's like the Tebow here.
It,
It is
yeah,
the Tebow here. It
it
literally
is. They
is.
literally said it is. And then the Elidinous Ward, of course, is the new best in slot offhand for Mage.
The reason I bought the offhand that I have now is so I could upgrade it eventually.
Yeah, it looks like a blue whale. Um,
It does kind of.
yeah, it's a
Cute.
shield. It's a shield that looks like a blue whale, and you get it as the uncharged version, and then you combine it with the Arcane Sigil in order to make the actual Elidinous Ward the way it's meant to be, which has high defense, high magic attack, as well as the only 5% bonus magic damage offhand for magic.
I
So
think
that's what makes it best in slot.
I saw somebody tweeting saying because you have to have 90 per 90 smithing to combine them. I don't think that that's boostable, and I don't think you could have an NPC do it.
No, you cannot.
Yeah, so you have to level up if you're not.
Yeah.
Because I guess somebody that I saw on Twitter got it and didn't have that.
Yeah, so well, luckily 90 prayer and 90 smithing are not fairly easy to get, but they are some of the easier skills to get
I
to
was
90.
like, 90 prayer took me forever.
Well, 90 prayer, what I mean is it takes money. It's not like a hard skill.
takes
it's
money,
not like,
but
it's
yeah.
not like they're like, oh, get
It's
90.
not mining.
Yeah, get 90 mining or something, or like get 90 rune crafting. But fairly high requirements, but I mean it is a best in slot item, so kind of understandable.
Yeah.
And the next is going to be Osmotims Fang. So this item originally was going to be a hook, like a sweeping
It was.
design.
I forgot. I was just gonna say, wait, they didn't have the weapon like that.
Yeah, so it was going to be a curved design that was a stab weapon that was two-handed. So this has come a long way because now this is. It looks
A
like
really long squiggly line.
Well, it's a flamberge style sword tip, so it looks like a piece of lightning essentially at the end.
It looks pretty cool. I'm
It
not
loo-
saying squiggly line in a bad way. I
no,
like
yeah,
it.
that is a good way to describe it. But yeah, so it looks a lot different than it used to be. It is still a stab weapon. It competes directly with the rapier, and
It
it is
does?
one-handed. So it is completely different than what it originally was.
I don't think I realized how good it is.
It's pretty good. It competes directly with the rapier in the fact that supposedly it will have a niche used for high defense enemies, as it will always do like a median amount of damage.
Oh yeah, it will never max out.
Yeah, it'll never max out, but it also
It's kind of like the
will
Bofa,
never.
where it hits very consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it also will never deal zeros.
Okay, that's so cool.
It'll always give you a better average damage, but if you are using the rapier, I think the rapier is technically best in slot at in this raid still, but yeah, maybe there'll be some niche uses for the Fang. I have seen people use it at the raid, and it does seem to do really well. So yeah, not a big deal there.
Yeah.
It is unfortunately a little bit less damage because it is a 5-tick weapon, whereas I think the rapier is 4-tick. So
almost.
Yeah, not as much damage as the rapier, but it is pretty close, and it does look really cool. So there's that.
Very cool.
As far as the next item is going to be the Light Bearer. This is a ring. So this ring is probably the cheapest item that you can get, but still, it is pretty decent. It sells for a couple dozen million, as far as I remember. Maybe less, but pretty much all it does is it increases the speed at which you regenerate your special attack by 2. So it's just twice as fast. The final items that we're going to be talking about are all the items you can get from the entry mode. and this is going to
More
be
consistently.
yeah.
Because technically, yeah.
A lot of people get these items on even their first KC.
Feels like a lot of people are getting this on their first KC, which is upsetting because I still haven't gotten it.
Yeah, a lot of people get it on their first entry mode KC or maybe even their third, but this is going to be the Thread of Elidinus. This is the new item that makes it so that your rune pouch, it goes from 3 runes to 4 runes.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, so very, very good quality of life stuff there.
A few people I've raided with have already gotten it, and I'm like, bro.
Yeah, you are going to need 75 crafting in order to do that, so make sure you get up your crafting. And the other items are going to be the jewels for the Karis Partisan. One is going to make it so that you deal more damage. The other one's going to make it so that you heal. And one will make it so that you have higher accuracy.
This would be nice in the raid.
Yeah. The only one you can take out of the raid, you can take them all out of the raid, but the only one that is effective outside of the raid as well is the Breach of the Scarab.
Which is the one I want anyway.
And this is the one that increases your accuracy against all Calphites, Scarabs, and Beetles. So, fairly effective.
There's a Scarab in the raid, so this would be nice. I've been using the Karis Partisan. I just would like a jewel in it.
Yeah, the Karis Partisan is pretty good. For anyone that doesn't know, it has 2 passive special effects. One can make it so that I've seen people hit up to 140.
I think that's more Calphite Queen on the raid, though.
That was a Calphite Queen,
Yeah.
but this can be done at any of the Calphites.
Mm-hmm.
It completely ignores their armor, essentially.
It's really good at bugs.
And yeah, I've seen people hit as high as 140 with a single attack.
So cool.
So it can be fairly effective if you get lucky. So one really cool surprise that we got, that
we're hoping for,
that we quote unquote got, was this is the only surprise in the patch so far, and it was pretty cool. These are new ornament kits.
They look dope.
These are proposed ornament kits that they wanted to tease. I think they are going to be pulling them just like everything else, but they do look really, really good. This reminds me a lot of whenever they did the ornament kits for Theater of Blood, just in the reverse.
They're just meeting like the color aesthetic of the raids.
Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't know, most aesthetics for the raids are either, or at least for Theater of Blood and for this one, are either like black and gold or blue and gold.
Chambers is like green and silverish.
Yeah,
whatever.
Chambers is just completely crazy. But for instance, you can change the Ward of Elidinus, which usually looks like a blue whale with gold trim, to a dark red whale with gold trim. So it looks really cool.
I love that you keep calling it a whale.
It does look like one. If you already have like a full, darker setup, especially if you're like wearing the scythe with the ornament kit and stuff like that, then
you guys know I love my emo outfits.
It'll definitely go well with it, with all the black and red theme.
They should have added another ancestral kit like the twisted one.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Maybe sometime in the future.
You can also change the Osmotims Fang to look really, really cool.
It looks like way sharper.
It has more spikes on the on like the sword itself, and also the hilt is black
with a red jewel.
Yeah, with a red pommel at the end.
So
and then
pretty. Most exciting to me.
Yeah, this is probably the coolest one by far, just because this doesn't happen very often. And this is an ornament kit for your max cape or for your Ava's accumulator.
Obviously, I don't max cape. I'm more excited for the Ava's.
So Ava's is normally bright blue because everyone uses the Vorkath version.
Hard to make it work for Fashionscape when there's no recolors.
It is very difficult, but this one turns it black and gold like everything else, and also
so cool.
You can, like you normally can with the Ava's assembler, with Ava's assembler, you can usually use that to upgrade your max cape. You can use that to upgrade your max cape here as well, making it black and gold, and also have the effect of Ava's as well.
If I had a max cape, I think I'd want this color. Over any other color.
Most people won't use this. It'll just be a Fashionscape thing, because everyone that uses a max cape uses the Inferno max cape, just because it has way better stats. But
if you don't have Inferno yet, though.
Yeah, if you don't have Inferno, and if you don't feel like using the Fire Cape or anything like that, like the Fire Max Cape, then
it's beautiful.
You can use this Max Cape if you plan on ranging.
If I max, I'm buying all the capes.
Yeah, a lot of people actually just use it's funny. I think a lot of people just use the regular Max Cape over the Ava's max cape anyways because you can't use like the teleports and stuff. With
Really?
yeah,
It's kind
because
of
the
weird.
max cape is just it's just the different recolors actually are the same thing as the original, and the max cape is actually the fashion scape part. So
Hmm.
if you upgraded it to the Ava's version, it'll only do the Ava's pickup of the item, and it won't do any of the other max cape capabilities. Same thing for like if you upgraded it to any of the other ones, it loses the max capabilities such as the teleports.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, kind of lame. I've always thought that's lame, but I guess that makes it kind of fair.
Yeah.
As far as the world first competition, of course, if you're listening to this, this is long gone, but they were giving out some rewards for anyone that was the first to finish a normal raid or the first to finish a expert mode raid, group or solo, otherwise doesn't matter. And of course, that has all been done on the very first day. So you are a little late to the party, but you do have a chance to get the achievement of being the first ever, as well as receiving a 12-month membership, so you can carry on. And I think
It does say on here that there's gonna be 2 additional prizes for the first group to complete normal and expert. So I don't know if a group's completed expert yet.
no, I don't think a group has completed
Potentially, you
expert.
could still win. Just go to a group expert.
Yeah,
It
I don't know. It does read that way, but I maybe think that they
could have
were.
happened. We just woke up.
I think they were expecting a group to do it and not a
No
solo
one
to
was
do it.
expecting solo to do expert first.
So maybe they meant the first group as in like group of 1 to 8
Oh,
to
could
do
be.
it. But yeah. Either way, that'll
They're
be
like, we have
interesting.
like 17 memberships put aside, and only one person did it.
They haven't really announced anything yet, even though the people, well, they have on Twitter, kind of, but they haven't announced anything officially in a blog. But
Yeah.
on Twitter, they have shout out whoever was the first to do it. The first person to do expert mode was a solo player in the Oblivion clan. I forgot their
Oh,
name,
okay.
but yeah, they were the first person to do it. A
Nice.
lot of people were sad that it wasn't Wooks or something like that, but yeah, Wooks I think was the third.
Nice.
As far as that goes, that's it for the theater, or for the theater for the Tomb of Amascut changes. Um,
Should I talk about it a little bit?
yeah, we'll talk over a little bit. We're not going to go into all the bosses because we'd be here for quite a while.
No. I just want to give some shout
But
outs to part of
yeah, we'll
it.
talk about it and give our thoughts on the raid overall.
Yeah. First of all, I love it. I'm in love, and I want to go back right now. I only got, I think, 8 or 9 entry mode kills, 1 regular. It was a little frustrating because we were trying to do normal yesterday, and we kept making it to the end boss and not being able to pull through. And like at one point, it was just me, and I don't feel like I know the final boss well enough. It was like me, and I had like 300 health left, but I had no food, so I ended up dying. But it's so much fun. I was practicing with entry. Like I said, it was on voice chat with people, but yesterday we did some more practice on entry after the failed normals, and we just tried it in a duo and then a trio without voice chat. And it's nice. You could still do it because people were like kind of worrying me because don't like being on voice chat. They were like, I don't see how this is possible without voice chat. Turns out you could type in the chat, which
It's
is pretty
definitely
cool.
possible, but for instance, it's a lot easier for a really good example is if you're in the monkey room, the monkey puzzle
If
before
you
the
know, you
boss.
know. You have to call out where people need to go, so you have to type it
It's kind
otherwise.
of like how Sotetsk is in Theater of Blood, where only certain people can see the objectives. So
Mm-hmm.
that would just be a lot easier if you're like, oh, the pillars need to be done,
Yeah.
instead of having to type out pillars.
We were just typing out like P and then for Vince V.
Yeah,
And it's just hard because sometimes you don't see people typing.
yeah,
So like
exactly.
Wraith was typing stuff and I just had no idea. I was like, doo killing my little monkeys, no idea.
Yeah, so it definitely helps a lot more if you can be in VC
Yeah.
while doing any of the bosses.
But it's so good. All the animations too are like spot on the way the bosses move and stuff. I was a little sad because they have like a bunch of hotfixes. One of the hotfixes that they're good, they haven't changed it yet. They're working on it though. There was a Baba safe spot.
Yeah, you actually discovered this while doing the boss.
I did. I was staying there and I was like, is this a safe spot? And I was like, everyone come to the safe spot. They're investigating it.
Yeah,
There's
there's
a place you could stay and Baba couldn't melee you at all. So you could just stay there and turn off your prayer and hit it until, and then it would make, you played, there's a mechanic where these falling boulders start coming. And you could just do it until the boulders start coming.
yeah. So
So you could be safe for a bit.
there's over 20 bugs that either are being investigated or have been fixed. So
Yeah, we're not going to go over all of them. Another one I did think was interesting, though, is that the bronze pickaxe was doing more damage than other pickaxes on the Path of Het in the puzzle room. It's kind of like light puzzles, a little bit of volcano mix.
yeah,
You get a free bronze axe, and everyone was like, there's very mixed reactions on whether or not the pickaxe matters. And this I thought was interesting because it confirms the kind of pickaxe
it does
does
matter.
matter. Everyone
Um,
kept saying, no, it doesn't. It does.
well, the thing is, a lot of people didn't feel that way because the bronze pickaxe was doing the same damage.
Because of the bug.
Yeah. Also, for anyone that doesn't know, you can store a higher tier pickaxe in the raid.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Probably
you,
just going to store rune for now.
yeah, if you have rune or if you have the 5 mil, probably it's going up quite a bit now.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do have the money for a dragon or even a crystal, then you can leave that there.
So you don't have to take up spot in your inventory.
Yeah.
Because there's no banks.
Yeah.
in the
So you
raid.
can just like leave it there, get it whenever you need it, and put it back when you don't.
Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting. Everyone know now.
Yeah.
It does make a difference.
It does make a difference. Yeah, so there's, like I said, a bunch of changes. So if you're interested, make sure to go check them out.
But it was really cool. Whenever we were learning, we were we wanted to discover how it worked ourselves. That's why I stayed up so long, because we didn't get a kill for like 7 hours. Because we were going in the rooms like low-key blindly. Some of the people in the group were like watching other streams, but they didn't have volume on. They were just like, oh, this person's doing that. But it's so fun. It probably was like the worst thing to watch, but it was so fun to experience going into rooms like the monkey room that we were talking about. We didn't know that you had to call stuff out to people, and that one person could see stuff that the others couldn't. So it was just cool being in there and being like, all right, what are we going to do? And like dying and having to start over and over and being like, let's figure out this room.
I just watched her wipe to this. It wasn't even the boss, the puzzle room before the boss, like 10 times in a row.
So the thing is, in this room, someone has sight and they could see like skulls appear above people's head or on pillars or on vents, and they tell everyone.
Yeah.
The first person to go in the room gets the sight, so they don't know that what they're seeing is something special that no one else sees.
Yeah.
So we're just like, oh, do you guys see anything? And they're like, no. Because they think everyone could see it.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny because I felt like I would have definitely noticed like
Yeah.
random skulls everywhere.
But also, the entire group I was with, it was like 5 in the... By then, it was probably like 8 in the morning. Most of us had been up for like nearly 24 hours or over 24 hours.
Yeah.
A couple people in our group had been up like 24 hours by the time the raid came out. But it was funny because then like before I feel like, not to brag, I kind of helped us understand that one a bit, because we were gonna like leave to get more supplies and just try it again. And I was like, I want to go into the room and just see what it looks like. And I went in and I was like, have these skulls always been here for you guys? Because I never saw the skulls before. I think it's just because the same person kept getting the sight, so they didn't think to tell anyone. Like,
Yeah.
hey, there's skulls. So that was nice to walk in, and it's such like a good feeling of accomplishment whenever you do it and you realize like, oh my god, we're making progress.
Yeah.
It was really fun. I really like it. The Het room was also really confusing. Not the puzzle, the actual boss fight. That one was trippy. But it's easier now. They're all fun. I think that's the hardest room to me. I don't have a favorite though. The Scarab and Baba are like kind of tied for my favorite. But
Really?
I don't really have that much kills. I really want to try solo later this week. I just need more practice first.
Yeah. I think as far as I've seen, it seems like Baba is by far the easiest.
Well, because it's a safe spot.
Well, no, just regardless, it seems like
Because
it's the easiest.
Bob only does one. I mean, at least on entry, it only does one type of attack. Where like Het switches attack styles the entire time.
Yeah. Also, I think Akka is probably the most difficult, just like by far.
Akka's the final.
No, Akka is the soldier.
Oh, I thought that was Het.
No.
Oh, that's the path of Het. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, Akka is definitely by far the most difficult in my opinion. He has like some unavoidable damage mechanics at the end, which can be pretty difficult. Also, I've seen like if you turn on certain invocations, it looks like it's like practically impossible to do it without the scythe.
Oh.
Like you need such a huge amount of damage on some of the ads during the boss that you have to have the scythe.
Yeah, Het we were like struggling with the most, so we didn't turn on any of the invocations there.
Yeah, so that's what I was. That's whenever I was watching Wooks do the expert mode. Some of them invocations make that boss fight very difficult.
It's nice on normal because you could not add anything to Het.
Yeah,
Have your easiest room, and it's still harder than the other rooms.
exactly. Yeah. So besides that, all the bosses seem to be pretty well done.
The
But
animations are beautiful.
yeah, they do seem to be like really well put together and fairly well scaled. But I guess there are two questions that I think we should talk about, probably mainly for you, of course, which is going to be
I thought you meant our Q&A, and I was like, whoa.
one, do you think it is too easy? Because this is something that people have been talking about, is that it might be too easy because, and their main argument is because people were able to solo it on the first day.
No, because the people soloing it are insane. They're not the average person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. I saw, it was so funny to me, because I had Bodhi's stream pulled up at one point, and he was trying a solo. I think it was on normal. And someone in the chat was like, oh, there's no new good content for OSRS. People are already like soloing it day of release. Everything that releases already dead content. And then like 5 minutes later, Bodhi died and wiped. And I was like, oh, such dead content. Can't believe this.
Yeah.
Just like, bro, you probably don't even raid.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think it's too easy because you can add invocations to make it hard. I think that people think it's too easy, like, because you're watching entry mode, or you're doing entry mode, or you're watching people who are like hardcore gamers and do it all the time.
Yeah.
And then if you do it yourself, you'll see it's actually really hard.
Yeah.
Like on entry mode, it took us a long time to even get a kill with that. I think it's easier than top, like it was supposed to be, and it's harder than Chambers on normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, which everyone knew. They never said that this is gonna be the hardest raid. They literally said it's our most accessible raid.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so I don't think that it's too easy because they literally give you a billion changes that you can make to make it harder.
Yeah, I definitely think they hit that mark pretty well because it's definitely by far the easiest raid. Like you could
in entry mode.
Yeah, if you walked in there with like,
well, Robert's also saying as someone who just watched too, so nobody come and be like, Robert's never done it.
Yeah,
Let's do a disclaimer.
Obviously I've never done it, but again, I don't really care. I don't really feel like I have anything to prove. I've done much harder content in other games, so I kind of don't care. But either way, it seems like if you had like 80 to 90 skills in combat, you could walk in there and reasonably do entry mode with some friends.
I do think it's funny people saying how it's so easy and then like complaining about how the puzzles are so hard.
Oh yeah, the puzzles are easy once you figure them out.
Yeah, the puzzles can be like, it's hard if you're tired, for sure.
Yeah, it's hard if they're it's the first time you've ever done them.
Yeah.
Which it was for most people, but after you figure it out, they're pretty easy. You can do them in like less than 1 minute.
I also thought it was funny people complaining because I'm like, you want to just go through a raid and just brute force it, not to put any thought into it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the raid's been done in less than 20 minutes, so that's insanely fast for a raid. So I think it's in a pretty decent spot.
That's like world record, though.
Yeah, that's really
not going to be what we're getting. Don't worry.
That's really fast. But I mean, the challenge timers are for 20 something minutes, which is still pretty fast as far as raids go. So if you're getting done in an average of 30 to 40 minutes, it's a pretty fast raid.
I don't think it's too easy though.
Yeah,
it's literally the point of the invocations.
Yeah, I like that you can walk in with fairly low stats. I wouldn't be surprised if you could do this with like 70, like mid to high 70 stats
on entry.
If you knew what you were doing on entry,
and you had a good group. I think that one thing, a lot depends on DPS because you can be there forever. You don't have any good DPS. Yeah, you don't have a good weapon. You better have a good group.
Yeah, and also, like to counter that, I do think it is technically the hardest raid as well. Like,
because it's so adjustable.
Yeah, I think if you were doing normal mode, it's in between. But yeah, because of the invocations on expert, it definitely seems
impossible watching. Probably.
It's hard to compare because theater wasn't made to be soloed. So I think solo theater is more difficult just because, again, that's not the way it's meant to be done. Like Chambers, you can do solo. It's meant to be soloed.
This is meant to be able to be soloed.
This is meant to be soloed as well, apparently. But chamber or theater just straight up was never meant to be done solo.
Yeah. So it's hard to compare.
Yeah, only maybe a dozen people, give or take, have ever soloed Theater of Blood. So it's just like on a different level. But as far as like soloable content, soloing expert is like incredibly hard.
Probably looks like top to me.
Yeah, like it looks incredibly hard. Maybe not on the same level as Tob, but like
close.
Yeah, maybe maybe it's on the same level as like challenge mode top with you and your friends or something like that.
Yikes.
But like not getting carried, I guess.
You're like putting in an equal amount of effort.
Yeah, like it looks really really tough, I guess. But and I can only imagine that's with 300 invocation points. If you had more,
You do the max? No one's done the max yet.
no, not even close.
But it's too easy. So it's like
yeah, not even close. If you added all the invocations, I'd be surprised if you got through a couple bosses.
Yeah.
Because it becomes much more difficult, especially as the bosses literally level up. They have levels to them. They get much more difficult.
Actually, so many people complaining about it's too easy. I'm like, then turn the invocations.
Yeah, it's definitely not too easy. I think that's one thing is you're watching Bodhi or Wooks do it, which are two very high level gamers.
You can't watch them and be like, they're doing it, I could do this. They have a different skill level.
Yeah, if I ever reference that the raid is easy, it's that I mean that the mechanics for the bosses are not super complex or difficult.
They're easy to understand, but you're still getting smacked the entire time.
Yeah, it's still definitely not the easiest content in the game.
Yeah. Like in my mind, the final boss like mechanics are fairly simple to understand, but there's also so much happening at once that I've not been able to like survive it every time.
Yeah.
Like I get it, but so much happening so quickly that's hard to understand like what to do.
Yeah. Oh, I think we covered pretty. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask what you think about it in comparison to the other raids, but I think we already kind of covered it.
I don't know. Like I don't know if I could say I'll like it more than I like Chambers, because what I like about Chambers is that you change it. I like what you dislike.
Yeah.
I was finding myself like getting a little bit like, all right, here we go through these rooms again. Like not disliking it necessarily, but something that I could tell I'll probably get tired of. Because I like in Chambers that you can switch it up.
Yeah.
Which not everyone likes. I think it's cool.
I hate it.
Yeah. Robert really, really dislikes it for some reason. But I love it. I like it more than my very baby attempts at theater. I've now spent way more time here than I've tried at theater.
Well, yeah.
Put this effort into theater.
Yeah, exactly. I still think, mechanically speaking, I still think that Verzik is the most difficult boss fight in the game.
Yeah, there were some mechanics that people were saying reminded them of Verzik while we were there, and I was like, oh, I still don't understand Verzik, and I can understand this.
Yeah, just by a fact that the three, like the stuff going on in all of like the phases of Verzik, it just is so much more involved, in my opinion, than any of the other bosses.
Yeah, I think it's gonna take more time of trying different invocations before I could confidently compare them.
Yeah,
because I haven't done too many actual finishes. I've spent a really long time playing it, but I don't have that many finishes in it.
Yeah,
I've already spent like 20 hours playing it.
I do think it is really similar to Theater of Blood in that like most of the bosses are fairly simple. Actually, all of the bosses are fairly simple, except
in theory.
The final boss, very similar to Theater of Blood, is seemingly the most difficult part.
Yeah, there's some parts of the final boss I still don't really understand what we're doing.
Yeah. So the final boss definitely seems to be a roadblock, but that's probably the main similarity I see between them.
Yeah. Well, you had some questions for me. I have some questions for you.
What?
Should we move into our Q&A?
Yeah.
I tried to make it casual, and I ended up not doing that casual of a job.
Yeah, that was the opposite.
Yeah, no, that was just very abrupt. Well, killing it. Like I said, I'm tired. Our first question is from Harger on Twitter. Weird question this week. If you look at the skill menu, what is your favorite row of skills? Mine's runecrafting, Slayer, farming. Think runecrafting's overhated. Slayer's awesome, and farming's my favorite skill. So I wasn't sure if I should answer this for which is the most aesthetically pleasing row, which I don't think is what they meant. Or if I should answer my favorite. My favorite would be the same, though. My favorite's runecrafting, Slayer, and farming. Obviously, farming, I have like 42 million XP, so I do, even though I can play my King Tango route, like I still do enjoy farming. I think it's very chill. Runecrafting's become one of my favorite skills to level up because of the minigame. And Slayer is just one of my favorite skills anyway because I love Slayer.
Yeah.
So that's definitely my favorite to play. And then I was thinking aesthetically what my favorite is, and I realized how none of these rows aesthetically work very well.
Nope.
But strength, agility, and smithing, I think, looks the most okay in a row.
Okay.
This felt important to me to answer.
Weird arbitrary qualification for that.
Well, because one's black, one's gray, and then the other one's not either, which sucks.
Yeah.
It's like so many of them are so close.
You're like, one doesn't look like the other, one doesn't look like the other, and neither does the last.
Basically. How about you?
This one was pretty easy for me, I guess, because there's one row that I like much more than the other rows.
Aesthetically?
No, like, because I really like just doing the same thing over and over again, but like not where that it feels unrewarding.
Hmm.
So for me, it was going to be the fourth row, which is ranged, thieving, and cooking.
Okay.
Ranged has always been my favorite combat style.
Yeah.
Even though I don't have it at 99, I got it to
I mean,
98.
Melee's my favorite, and I don't have them all at 99 either.
Well, for me, it's different because I got my range to 98 organically, whereas all my combats for melee, I had to sit there and farm doing like weird AFK methods.
Yeah.
98 on range, I got strictly from doing bosses or stuff like that. And for the next one, thieving. This
I
is
love cooking nights.
I like I like thieving.
Oh god, you probably do.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I like that I could just jump in and do it real quick and like
It's fast.
start thieving on some nights or whatever, and then at the high end you could thieve and it be one of the best money makers in the game, which is also crazy.
Hmm.
So I really like that skill, and it goes by pretty fast as well, which is kind of a theme for all three of these.
Actually, yeah, because your third one cooking.
Yeah, cooking, I got to 92 by doing karambwans.
You did that
Which
so early. That's probably your first 90.
it was my first 90, I think. But it goes by really fast. All of the karambwans, you can actually make money cooking, which is crazy.
Or you could just keep them forever. I still have my pile that got me to 89.
Yeah. And it's a fairly cheap skill to level as well, especially if you just wanted to do wine from grapes and water.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like those skills. They're pretty chill grinds, and like I said, they feel rewarding.
Based on looks, what's your favorite role?
Based on looks,
I said a roll.
it would probably, I guess, have to be the magic, fletching, and woodcutting one, just
Fletching
because
and woodcutting.
yeah, they seem relatively similar.
The magic ruins it.
And I like the blue, green, green thing
Oh,
going
God.
on.
All right. I regret asking.
Yeah, I guess that. Also, I don't dislike any of those skills.
Hmm.
Maybe aesthetically might be better is the very first row, but I hate mining, so I can't say that row.
I can't even choose it aesthetically because I hate it so much. I hate that symbol now.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, probably those though.
Our second last question for this week. Sorry, Wraith, we've been skipping your questions. We're saving them. We're almost out.
Yeah.
This one is going to be from Matt on Instagram. What minigame is your favorite? Name one safe, one combat. Pretty simple one this week. Mine is unfortunately Fishing Trawler. Why is that unfortunate? Because it's not very popular.
Yeah.
For combat, Castle Wars for sure. You want to answer first?
For combat mini games,
Mm-hmm.
there's not many combat mini games. Probably pest control. I didn't really mind the grind for pest control.
Yeah,
I've
Pest
had
Control's a
elite
good
for
one.
quite a while.
And
Yeah.
it's nice that you can actually level up skills there because my answer is Barbarian Assault for that.
Yeah,
Which I like, but you can't level.
it's nice because it's actually random fact, but if you're a certain account, you can actually because you can buy XP at
Oh, yeah, you can.
yeah, and a lot of people don't remember that you can actually buy XP at pest control.
Because everyone just goes there for Void.
Yeah, so you can go there and you can buy, for instance, Max Prayer if you really wanted to.
That's cool. Yeah, if you enjoy going there, might as well.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen accounts do that where they've just bought like Max Prayer because they're like a weird special account that whatever for whatever reason can't really get bones or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've seen people do stuff like that, just insane grinds. But yeah,
Interesting.
overall, I think it's a pretty chill one, and it has a really good rewards.
It's not my. It's like I like the idea of it, but actually thinking about going and grinding it sounds awful. Like if I do a couple games, I'm like, oh, this is chill. I think I need to not have the grind mentality about it.
Yeah, probably.
Because in the gist of the game, like thinking about it, I'm like, that sounds fun. Just when you're actually there. Maybe I just need to play with people too.
Maybe. As far as my non-combat favorite minigame, it's probably I think technically Corrupted Gauntlet might be a minigame, but
They counted Chambers of Xeric as a minigame on the wiki.
yeah,
So I was like, eh.
that's also why I didn't select that for the other one. But for non-combat, it would definitely have to be Temperos.
Tempress is fun.
Yeah, I really liked
Summer
it.
tot.
Yeah, I liked it whenever it came out, and I still like it now. It's my preferred way of leveling fishing, and I haven't
Agreed.
done that much fishing, so pretty much all my levels have come from that.
That's a good answer. What do you think of the pet, Tempe?
Tempe, I like it.
People keep calling it ugly.
I like it because it just is like a little puddle.
Thank you. I agree. That's all I wanted to hear. My favorite combat, like I said, Barbarian Assault. I just think it's fun. I like that you could high roll. You could technically get a pet from that minigame too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I say technically because I've only seen I only talked to one person with it. Everyone else in my mind, they're just bots who have it.
Yeah, it's by far the rarest pet in the game.
Yep. My favorite non-combat one, 100% Guardians of the Rift. I love Guardians of the Rift. You guys, Jagex, if you're listening, you guys are killing at the mini games because we both choose two of the three most new mini games are our favorites.
Yeah, it's like no one's talking about the Foundry though.
I've heard good things about the Foundry. It's just I don't want to spend money to go because you have to bring your own bars,
which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
No other mini game you have to bring anything into it.
Maybe you do, and we're just not thinking of it. I don't know. But yeah, that's definitely it. I liked that question.
Imagine bringing
I love
your
talking
own
about
logs
minigames.
into Winter Tot.
New update coming next week. You don't have to bring your own logs.
Yeah.
But yeah, Guardians of the Rift is so fun. I think it's just really cool, and it's great money, great for getting rooms, and has a cute little weird guy pet.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten in the groove of it, but I don't know. It's okay.
You've done a lot, but yeah,
it could be frustrating. I feel like if I ever am not paying attention or mess up at Guardians, I just hate myself so much.
Yeah, you get a little too intense about it.
Yeah, because like if I miss something or mess something up, then or like oh God forbid I miss a portal, then I'm just like I just sit there.
You get too serious with the portals.
Well, it's because like I don't know, I feel like I'm wasting my time.
It sucks when you don't get the portal. That's why we think of it very differently because I just think it's fun. So I'm like, if I get portal, cool. I'm here mostly for fun.
It feels like too punishing for me to enjoy it. It'd be the same as if like in Temporos, if you didn't, I don't know, do something in time, like I don't know, yeah, like if you
just have feelings.
If you did something and like your whole inventory was washed away or something like that.
I mean, that is kind of like the wave and stuff.
I think
you just like the mechanics more.
Even if you get caught in the wave, it only does a percentage of your inventory.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd feel like the same thing, but if like your whole inventory was wiped out and all your gear is equipped and all of it disappeared forever. That's what it feels like.
Very strong feelings about it.
But that's gonna be it.
Yeah, thank you for the questions this week. And this week, what are you gonna be getting up to?
I will be doing some bossing.
Okay. Oh yeah, and you're keeping it secret, so you can't really go into that.
Yeah, some bossing specifically for money making.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be doing TOA. This is like our least exciting. Well, technically, it is gonna be exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting,
but
it's
we
just
can't really
simple.
talk about it.
Yeah.
We're only gonna be bossing and raiding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, if you want to see me raiding, or maybe I'll end up doing other stuff. Who knows? Maybe I'll get over it. I stream 5 days a week at twitch.tv/Bunebape, so come hang out every night if you're in Pacific Standard at 8 o'clock. And you could follow us on Twitter at Bunebapeosrs, and then our Instagram and YouTube are both just Bunebape. And you get to come join our Discord.
Yeah.
I think the easiest way to get that is from Twitch.
Yeah, we have a lot of gamers there, and
we do weekly one giveaways, so
we have people there also raiding, so if you're looking for other players, you can join.
Yeah. But yeah, that's going to be it this week.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that's going to be it. It's been like an hour, 15 minutes.
Yeah. That's going to be about it. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Thanks for giving us your time.
Yeah, thank you for listening, and we'll catch you all
very soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Meet
My voice is going to sound deeper than normal.
Oh, meet merp.
Meet merp.